keeps getting juicy. YouTube just logged me off. Why do you keep doing this, YouTube? Okay, so before I got logged off, the previous video, we were talking about co-parenting, and Hannah asked me how do I co-parent, and I was just explaining literally everything, exposing my whole life, you know how it is. And I literally said that I have to do the craziness to receive presents for my son. I have to do this, I have to do that just to co-parent with them because they are so controlling. And I was saying before, who's here? Who's here? Who's here? Who's here? I'm so sorry. YouTube keeps thingying me off. Um, so I keep saying, it's hard to co-parent with the narcissist. It is really hard. And oh my gosh, you're back, Sincere, you're back, girl. I don't know yet. Someone try to say that it's robots that keep exiting off my lives, because there was another girl on called Kat. She was on my previous lives, like my early lives today. And she was like, she knows why the lives keep going off. Anyway, I hope everyone comes back in because that convo was getting juicy, innit, Sincere? It was getting juicy. Co-parent with the narcissist ain't gonna happen, girl. Ain't gonna happen. And I really feel sorry for the guys in this situation. I'm not saying that I don't feel sorry for myself, because I feel sorry for myself. Yes, you're back, pillar of light. Yes. The topic gets deep, innit? I'm getting too deep. That's why YouTube keep blocking me off. Oh Lord have mercy. I try not to be deep. You know how much I try to be surface level. Anyway, so I was saying that the new supply buys the gifts, and because the narcissist that my son's father, yes, Hannah, you're here. I'm such a nerd sometimes, I swear. What was I saying? I go off topic. I just know what it is, yeah. Girls, I live in my head sometimes, and I think that's the best best way to live after narcissist. Just I live in my own bubble sometimes. Anyway, so keep the deepness. It's truth. I know, but that's when I get blocked by YouTube, and then the live's gonna go off again. That's why I said before I got cut off, Sincere, I said to you, yeah, I said to you that if the live goes off, just stick with me, guys, because yeah. So I don't even know where to start, guys. Please just comment your situation or whatever, because I don't even know. I've just given up. But the thing is, when I first started co-parent with narcissists, I didn't give up straight away. I think about 2, maybe even 3 years, I was listening to, I want to be a good dad, I want to be there, I wanted this, I wanted that. But I think it just got to a point where I was just like, go away, just go away. And the my son's father tried to abuse me financially. So when we were together before my son, he was abusing me financially where I was paying for everything. But now he's in a better position. Oh, I know we can relate, because these guys be the same, literally. Even the lady before said, what's your ex's name? Because he sounded like he's mine. Exactly. Pillar of light, please don't stay. But you know what it is, guys? Especially with certain cultures, right? They look down at you for being a single mom. Look down at you for leaving. And that's why I don't like this whole single mom, let's hate single mom culture online. Because it's like, you don't know why I'm a single mom. It's by choice. I chose to leave this man. This man didn't leave me. I'm not toxic. I had to leave for my mental health. Remember that. Understand that, yeah? But co-parenting, I've just given up. And sometimes it hurts when I see fathers picking up their kids from school, and it hurts. I talk to my friends sometimes about it, and I said to her, because her kid is still kind of young, and I'm like, wait until your kid goes to full-time school and you see the active fathers, even when you see single fathers, active fathers, you just want to cry. Like, why me? Why? I'm a good person. I don't deserve this. But you can't think like that. As long as your kid's got one healthy parent, which is going to be you, of course, that's all that matters. How come they stay with the supply sometimes? I think my ex is still with the supply. I don't know why those judge people are. I don't know why they say the same. I'm going to get back to you, Pillar of Light. But I honestly believe, I talk about this in some of the videos, but honestly believe that it's they're just naive. They just don't know about the narc thing. Some of these people are not religious. I'm not saying you have to be, but some people just believe that people can change. Um, I don't know. Just think about why you stayed so long. Why did you stay so long? I had no self esteem. My self esteem was low. That's why I stayed. Trauma bond, my childhood. There's so many reasons I stayed with this guy. And when I think about it, he was even good looking, mate. Hi, Anthony Ingram. How are you? So finally, there's a guy. There's a guy because this is literally girl chat before, wasn't it? Um, I don't know. I stayed so long. Do you know what it is? I know what it is. I felt sorry for the narcissist. If you agree, please comment, say something, because I honestly felt sorry for the narcissist. You know, he had a bad childhood. Look, there's some women that actually want to be single moms. Like they just want a baby. They don't want to. They don't want to be married. They don't want a boyfriend. They just want a baby. And I respect that, and I don't mind that. But that wasn't my plan. I wanted to be married. Hannah, I met mine in my 20s. I was intimate. Sophie kept his mouth for 20 years. Thanks for showing love, Anthony. 20 years, pillar of light. Shoot. I was in my narc for 10 years and I felt like I wasted my life. Even certain times I get angry still. Like, no, I'm 30 and I'm doing it all over again. But still, I just feel like you. Sorry, I don't want to swear. I don't want YouTube to exit off this, but that's what I'm trying to say to you. Sometimes these narcs, they're so good. Like they are better than actual paid actors. Believe me, they are better than actors online. They can look. The narcissist mask was, and my other lives that I was talking about today, I speak about pregnancy and the narcissist. Right, his mask came off the same minute. I'm not lying. The same minute my son came into this world, the mask slipped and he started abusing my family. That's what I was talking about in the last live. But sometimes they're so good at my self-esteem. He was my best friend. We had a connection, childhood traumas, all types of stuff. Yeah, the fact that you can leave after 20 years, that's strength. That's serious strength, pillar of light. That's serious, serious strength. I also grew up with, oh my God, you've been through it. You've been through it. Having narc parents is, they got revealed, yep. They couldn't be bothered anymore, man. They thought, this, man. Let me find someone who's younger and more naive and less work. And I've just missed that convo. Let me go back. I've just missed that message. I thought my ex would eventually mature. Sis? Me and you, sincere. I feel like we're long lost sisters. Would mature, address his demons. I found it hard to understand how a person won't refuse to learn from... Oh... Don't get me started, sincere. Sincere, don't... I gave him too long. I've helped him out. I know what, sometimes I don't like going too much into my own life, but yeah. Sometimes I wish it was like a year, because then I was 16 at the time, because then I would be 17. But I wouldn't be this person today. Like I have girls coming to me, like friends, like, this guy won't do this for me. What should I do? And it's nothing. It's not like they're narcissistic, but you know, what should I do? I'm like, cut him off. Like my tolerance level is, he ain't taking you out, ain't buying you, he ain't showing nothing. But I feel like we struggle with relationships as well, right? After the narcissist, if you are dating, because when they come and love bomb you, yeah, it sounds like a low level covert. When they come and love bomb you, yeah, they come with money, gifts, flattery. Like you feel like the Queen of England. Like you're like Queen of England. You can't even compare. Period, boo. But it's not that. And when they love bomb, yeah, hope she learned life like I did. She was a lesson. Yeah. You see, after dealing with that one knock, yeah. Hey, this is why I tell people heal, because if you don't, you'll get another knock. I have a story time already on my channel, and I talk about bumping into another narc after my baby's father, and he was worse. That's what I'm telling you. When you come at that relationship, heal before you start dating. Go date yourself. Go take yourself out for dinner, because this narcissist was worse. He was a sex addict. He was full of STIs. He was a woman beater. Ugh, ugh, God, he was worst. Towards the end, he would only take me for a coffee with a free. Do you know what? I'm not laughing at the situation, and if you guys get offended, I seriously apologize. But the way I deal with stuff, like, I either cry or laugh. So if I'm laughing, I want to cry. Just understand that. But towards the end of the relationship, he was actually stepping up a bit because he was cheating. So I was getting, like, he was taking me out to, like, for food. Like, he would spend like £100 on food, and I'm like, just give me the money so I can spend it on the house. So he wouldn't give me money for the house or for our child, but he would splash money on me. And I didn't really like that, because I was like, what's the point? You're just wasting money, right? Spend £200 on trainers. People might not think it's that much money, but to me, that's a lot on trainers when, my son needs clothes and stuff, and you're spending £200 on my trainers. Well, I have no use to him, but he only used me for visa immigration, but I think he's still hired even more. I got used. Let's talk about what we got used for. I got used to come up. So he had nothing. He didn't have a job. And yeah, he just came up with me, basically. He's addicted to porn. 100k debt. Oh, we had no money for food. You don't even want to you don't want to know the story. Listen, this guy is such a bum. I was on benefits at one point, right? And anyone that knows me knows I've had a job since the age of 13. So I don't rely on the government like that. I was on benefits living with this guy. He was living off my benefits. I told him to get his own benefits. He didn't want to do it because he was so prideful. He was living off my benefits. And if you know, UK benefits are like, with no children, it's like £57 a week or every 2 weeks, something like that. We lived off potatoes. He didn't want to get up and get a job. Like, I feel like pulling my hair out, because now, if a man don't have a job, he can't even look at me. Period. Like, I'm not a gold digger. I'm not someone who, you don't need to buy me designer. You don't have to buy me these crazy things that these other girls are asking for. But at least have your own ish. Have your ish together. At least be able to afford your own food, your own. If you can look after yourself, I'm happy. I will date you. There's no way I could ever date a guy who can't even look after himself. But you want to come in my space, and now we must struggle together. I've struggled for too long. I'm so sorry. I've struggled for too long. I've struggled for too long for this. But, they come and they use you for different things. And especially if the narc has money themselves, you feel like, how are they going to use me? Because if the narcissist is paying for everything, you don't feel like you're being used, right? Because if the narcissist is buying you designer and paying for your life, and you're living with the narcissist, how are they going to use you? But it's supply. It's more than money. It's they use you for your energy. They suck you dry. They use you for your character. Now, what I mean by that is that they steal pieces of you and run off your identity. Mine was after me for my looks. To get a home after my parents' home, he would bring his police mates to my parents' house. They would walk around with their mouths open like, yeah. I get what you mean. Because when me and the narcissist, if you're in the chat and you like the chat, please press that like button, guys. When I moved to Manchester up north, so up north of England, it's cheaper to live, which means I'm looking at the mind, heart and actions. That's what I'm saying. Yep. Look within, especially as a man, you have to. You know what? Not especially. You got to look within, period. Yeah? Because a lot of girls, we look at, nice teeth, height, he's got to be dark skin, he's got to have money, he's got to have a BMW. No. Them men are most likely narcissistic. Please believe me. I've dated after the narcissist, and the better looking, the more issues, trust me. Not all the time, but majority of the time. Um, I thought I was saying because I just realised the convo had to switch. It's about the inside, character. So whether you have a kid with them or not, or whatever happens, you know that they're that kind of person, right? And another thing, I always check what they're like with their parents, and that's really tough as well because the narcissist I was with, he faked like, yeah, my mom's my best friend, smiley, smiley, smiley. But you have to actually be around him and his parents quite a lot to actually see the kind of relationship they have. But even me, I can't even be mad at myself because the relationship the narc had with his family, that whole mask, because they're all narcissistic, it's a whole cult, right? Any red flag, not the second or the third, but the first, I'm running for the hills. This is what I'm trying to say to you. And do you know what's crazy? It's happened to a friend of mine, right? She there was this guy, she wasn't really like him like that. So important to keep your sense of humour. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. I know and understand all the red flags now. But it's hard. Because you know what? Do you know what I realised? They never teach us about red flags. They never teach us about red flags. They don't. They just don't. They. What do we really learn at school? Think about it. Do they teach us about toxic people using you for taking away your energy? No. He stalked and groomed me from the get-go. Yeah. When you think about it at the start, but it didn't feel like that way, did it? It didn't feel like he was being stalked or he was being groomed. It felt magical. That's how you know it's demonic. No, but it's that's why you guys on here talking to each other and talking to me, because you can't call your friend, your whoever is in your life, and talk about this. They'd be like, why are you still talking about the narcissist? You've been gone for how long? Why are you still talking about them? But who else am I meant to talk to? No one understands that it's not just a normal breakup. This is not just because I've had relationships after the narcissist, and I don't even remember these guys. That sounds really bad for me to say that. I don't remember the guys' names because it didn't end badly. We ended on good terms, And when I meet people that say, yeah, especially guys that are still friends with their ex, like platonic friends. Exactly, we never taught Hannah. People that are platonic friends with the exes, I'm like, how? Just because you have a high tolerance of pain, pillar of light, doesn't mean you have to go through it. It's all a fantasy. And when you, do you know what? My mum screamed that to me at one point. She went, wake up from the in fantasy. I was like, leave me alone. I swear my life sounds like EastEnders sometimes. It really does. But now I just laugh at it. But you have to laugh at it because it feels like it's fake. It feels like when you talk about your life, yeah, you're just like, is this really my life? And especially if you meet, because after me meeting a narcissist, after my ex, and he was addicted to Viagra, he had STIs, he had 6 girls on the go, and I was one of them. He got his girlfriend pregnant. He tried to make me his girlfriend. These times he's in a relationship with a girl and she's 6 weeks pregnant. This girl's willing to fight me for the man. I'm like, huh? I'm itching my head like, I'm confused. And at the time, I spoke to the guy and I said to him, look, I'm single. And are you single? I don't want no girls coming for me. He lied to me. He was the worst narcissist ever. But you see, as soon as I got the confirmation that he was a piece of shite, I cut him off, blocked him, everything. Never spoke to him again. And you've got to have that. You have to have that, like, with friends, all type. You have to just block people off. And when you find, like, this is why I said, even in my book, right, there's one thing I talk about, right, with healing, because you will doubt yourself and you'll think to yourself, but let me just go back to the narc. And also, I showed my vulnerabilities. You knew I had money. You knew about my gold, everything. Huh. Let's just think on that, right? I was meant to make. I got So I'm in business, right? Trust me, cut-off game is strong. People look at me like, you're a bitch. You're ruthless. I'm not ruthless. Cut-off game strong. What the hell? Ooh, what? So I was meant to get investment from this very famous investor for a very big project, very expensive project, okay? And I was doing that with my ex. And when he started taking over, he sabotaged it. And at first I was angry because it was a lot of money and it was a very life-changing experience. But I would have been in debt with the investor for all that money because the narcissist would have sabotaged that business. So I'm so blessed that he did his nonsense. Because imagine being in business, stuck, trapped with a narcissist, owing hundreds of thousands of pounds to an investor, not be able to pay it back because the narcissist sabotage. Look, my life could have been worse. Yeah, could have been worse. So I'm blessed, and the best thing that ever happened to me with that narcissist is my son. Period. Period. When I look at that little boy, ugh, don't let me get teary up in here. Seriously. And I think to myself, why can't your dad just be normal? And you know what's even really toxic as well? Even my family members as well. Toxic really rip up your whole being another level, but good news is you can come again. Time shining. Mate, I don't even, people that know me from before don't even recognize me. They can't even talk to me like friends. Like they're too scared to even talk to me because the way I go on. Because before I used to be timid, like they're like, if I didn't want to say no, I'll be like, oh, let me think about it. I'll really try and I will stutter and I'll speak low. Now I'm like, you know what? Thank you so much for the invite, girl, but I can't make it. I'm so sorry. I hope you have a good night. And they're just like, oh, okay. Like the Whitley we knew, the person that we knew, the Whitley that we knew, would never say no straight up. She would say, I'll think about it. Now I'm letting you know now. Unless I genuinely I'm gonna think about it, I'm not gonna tell you I'll think about it. If that makes sense. Nah, I'm not coming. I'm not interested. The narc's gonna be there. I'm fine. I decline. And that's it. I'll never talk about the narc. I'll just say nope. I'm fine. I'll do my own thing. People can't talk to me. People can't access me. Even family members now. I've been blocked. Every narc that I know, they either tread carefully around me or they block me because I don't tolerate the BS. I will tell you in private. I'll tell you in front of everyone. Your attitude stinks. Your behavior, you need to change it. You're not a 5-year-old. You're a big person. Come correct. Don't hear excuses about childhood, all of that stuff. We all could sit here and tell you stuff that's happened to us in our childhood. That is no excuse for acting like a flipping. Yeah, YouTube, don't block me. YouTube, don't stop this live, YouTube, okay? Because anytime I get deep, you guys want to log me off. That part 100. Do you know what? Sometimes, yeah, people say to me, "Oh, you said this in your video," and I'm like, I talk so much, I don't even know what I bloody said. I will never. You know, I've even had someone say to me, right, this guy is not a narcissist, but he, he finds it hard to get with girls. And he said to me, he found my videos, a guy that I know, and he said, I don't like your videos. I said, why? He said, because you're telling the truth and you're educating these girls. I don't need you to educate these guys. I can't make it up. He's telling me, you're making these girls too wise. I don't like it because then they're going to start asking for more and demanding more. And I'm like, wow. It's a guy I know, okay? So he just told me straight, I don't like your videos. And the way I say stuff, he flips it. I don't think he means to, but he flips it in a way where he's like, why did you say this? And I'm like, no, you didn't get what I was trying to say. I will never, listen, this is the thing. I will never play the victim ever. If anyone called my phone, you know, I actually exposed the knock. So his sister on his dad's side said to me, oh, what's going on? I went to some of the family functions after we split up, right? And because I didn't know how to cut off everyone. I didn't know how to cut off everyone. So I'm still going to family functions and stuff. Obviously, I've been with him for 10 years, I know the whole family, da da da. And the sister said, "Oh, so what happened between you two?" And I just told him straight, he's a madman. He's a madman. And I had to call police, I had to get a restraining order on him because he's a madman. And she was like, he does move mad at times. Like, it's. And the thing is, the narcissist family, they know. I have narcissistic people in my family, and we know who's the crazy one or narcissistic one, the toxic one. We know they can't keep a house, can't keep a job, can't keep a relationship. We know who they are. So the narcissist on their family, your romantic ex narcissist, their family know who they are, what they're like. Um, there are websites where men learn to use narc tactics to ensnare women. Shut up, you're lying. You're actually lying. What website is this? What website is this? You're lying. This is what, look, I'm here to just, so strange how they all use the same tactics. Like I was saying in another video, there's, I wish, it was one of my other phone is, in thing. The Art of War, no. The Art of Seduction, is it The Art of War? The books I talk about, The Family of the Worst. Oh, hell to the... Look, after my ex, right, I found out that there's a few narcissists in my family. But after that, I found out his mother warned me against him, no lie. There are websites. Shit. So what do? They just share tactics. They just share... Oh my God. Look, you see when you find out these videos, whether it's mine or anyone's videos, and you think it's good, share it. Share it to the young women, the young men. Share it to them. Seriously, because I was 16 when I got targeted by the narc. 16. So understand, it's probably going to get younger now. I'll probably be 15, 14. You know. And oh, it's a cruel world out here. She warned me about him and his moods. Do you know what? There's somebody that I know, their mother and father always warn the new guys, and they say, "Oh, she's like this. Ignore it. Just walk away." So they're basically saying, "This is how she is. We've accepted this. You accept it, and walk away." It doesn't help because every guy that comes in a relationship now, he just leaves. Evil ex had evil sister who was obsessed with me and my pregnancy. She was having stillborn babies 5 times, and the last time she was in hospital giving birth to a stillborn, and she told my ex to get me pregnant, get me to test. What the fuck? Hannah, man, I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. Shit. They use a love bombing and the wedding phase to get the woman to engage. I do feel sorry for your ex's sister because obviously that's horrible to go through so many stillborns. That's really, really, that would mess up any woman. Let's just be honest here. Whether you're toxic or not, that will mess you up. Especially if you really, really badly want a child and you're having to carry a child and carrying a child that long and then, that's sad. But to be obsessed is, oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hannah, it is messed up. It's true. The thing is, my ex's mum was obsessed. So she was in her 50s and she had 5 kids. The ex Knox was the firstborn. And when I was pregnant with my son, she said, "I think I can have twins." And she kept competing, and she was saying, "I think I can get pregnant again. I can have twins." And it's like, but then as I actually go through the pregnancy, I realized that narcissist, I think she's a witch. Yeah, she probably is. She probably is. And you know, I never used to believe in that stuff, you know. I never used to think witches were real until living with the narcissistic mother and her putting spells on me, and the only thing I could think about in my dreams was her, and I'm sleeping and I could feel her over me. Like, I can't make this up. I can't make this. Anyone that knows me knows I'll laugh at that, and I'll probably start drinking. Crazy. No, no, no. It's real. It's real. It's real. And I feel like when you don't have that protection of God on you, you don't pray, you don't have that spiritual armor. Hmm. You know, I've had people try to say to me, "Oh, go to this spiritual woman; she will help you." And I don't knock people who do that, but that's just not something that I'm really into, to be honest. The spiritual attacks. Oh, hmm. And the thing is, sincere, you won't even be thinking about the narc. You won't even be. I don't know. You just they're not in your mind like that. Well, for me, they're not in my mind like that. I don't think about them. I don't even talk about them. I only talk about them with you guys online, like my friends, family, my partner. Mm-mm. Oh, and they're so funny. This I keep saying funny, but it's not funny. The mother, aka witch, she would have like spiritual baths. She would. The only reason I knew she was a witch, right? What's broken mirrors? What's that? The only reason I knew she was a witch because when my son was young, they were like, "Oh, you know, I'll look after your son. Just get some sleep." And something in my spirit just didn't allow it. So I let, you know, my son's grandma take her. She took my son. She took my baby into her room, and something told me, and I know it's God. Something told me, go and get your son. I go upstairs. I go in her room. The woman's got an altar, witchcraft pictures, the candles, all that kind of stuff, and she's got pictures of dead people. So like her brother died and her friend died. So pictures of dead people that she knows on the altar, and she was chanting. She had my son like this. She was bouncing him. Obviously, he was really young at the time. She's chanting something weird, and my son's crying. He's snotting. He's like, I'm thinking, what the is going on? So I said to her, so I said to the witch, can I have my son back, please? And I said, what's wrong with him? Why is he crying like this? When I left him, he was fine. Oh, I think he's got a cold. He didn't have no cold. Mm-mm. There's a movie on Netflix. You guys might have seen it. It's called Behind the Eyes. If you haven't, you better watch that. Behind the Eyes, and it's about astral projection. I'm not saying if I'm saying it right, where people can their spirits can leave and go to someone else's body and stuff. Hey, I didn't know that was real. My partner would tell me about it, how someone tried to do that with him, but I'm like, all right. Some people, people just come up with all these spiritual things. You're just like, okay, whatever. But then I see it on the movie. Hey, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is why they loved me, you know. That narcissistic witch cult family, they love me. You know why? It's not because of me. Because I didn't believe. I wasn't prayed up like that, and I didn't believe in witches. I didn't believe it. They were like, yes, perfect. Perfect. At the same time, I was pissed off every time I was doing something we were talk down when I don't ask for help. I was so confused. He wants you to struggle, babe. He wanted you to struggle. He wanted you to complain, and he didn't want you to do it. Um, he just wanted you to suffer. He wanted you to suffer. And I don't understand men who hate women. He was probably trying it on you. Guys, it's crazy when we think about it. When we talk about it, yeah. You see what we're talking about now? We can only talk about it here in this safe space. If you start, if you start talking about this to other people, they'll be like, "Are you okay? Are you on drugs?" They'll be thinking, "Is she okay? Is there something a bit odd?" But it's true about this, you know, spiritual attacks at night.